I only want to talk about this a little bit. I know that LeBron James also went to that same high school, and I believe you guys went there at the same time.
Yeah, let me tell you what, that wrecks you for basketball.
Yeah.
Well, because one of the things with LeBron is everyone talks about and focuses on him because he's talented, right?
Right. Some would say.
Yeah. Some would say. Other people are just jealous.
Yeah.
Well, he also had like 3 of the buddies that he went to the JCC with regularly, like 3 of his good friends who he's played basketball with before, and the coach is one of the kids' dads. Like,
Interesting.
yeah, 2 of the other guys went and played for like European basketball.
Oh.
And then the other guy went and got drafted by Ohio State to play football, apparently. So athletic, yes. But they were a team already, and
Right.
you just threw in another random 5th person.
Did he take your spot, like on the varsity team?
We don't talk about that. Obviously not. I was in the band. I was a tuba player, gloriously.
Gloriously.
But yeah, like I got to watch really good. I'm watching no-look passes in high school.
Yeah.
I'm watching like actual proper ball handling and fundamentals being executed on a level like you just don't see. And then come senior year when it's like, wait, I completely have this in the bag. We have this in the bag as a team. He didn't care. Like if you were going to, if the choice was knocking out as hard and dominantly as he could and intimidating you and everyone in the stands behind you, he would just leap up, and the power behind it, like I think he nearly broke a scoreboard once.
Oh my gosh.
It was just this wonderful meaty thunk on a basketball.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're not getting a basket today. No.
He was already a really big guy in high school too. Like just absolutely ginormous.
Yeah, and then I went off to college, and it's like, oh.
It's like, yeah, go team.
Let's go team.
Oh, we're all just going to follow around the one guy who wants the basketball and the glory. Okay, well, I guess we're losing this one. Oh, we're all going to try to shoot 3-pointers because they look cool.
You did go from one great sports school to another. Notre Dame is also fantastically known for football and even basketball, I think, to some extent.
And the best part is I went with the quarterback was Brady Quinn that year.
Okay.
A phenomenal quarterback, and ended up, both of them got drafted to crummy Cleveland teams. So Brady went off to Cleveland, and then Cleveland did what Cleveland did at the time and destroyed your football career.
They still do that.
I know.
Although not as much anymore. Now
It is my favorite Halloween decoration. People put like the Browns quarterback graveyard, and it's like a dozen and a half tombstones.
Oh my gosh.
It's so excessive. Like, I came from Chicago, and our football team is not any better. But
The
Bears. But the Browns fans are so enthusiastic. I feel so bad for them. Because every year is their year, and they believe that in their very soul.
We got a first down. We're going all the way.
Oh, yeah. He caught the ball. We're winning. And it almost came kind of close with Mr. Flacco. But, I mean...
It was a big hope. It was a big hope.
It's just great because in the 90s, it was in the 90s, we sold the franchise to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had seller's remorse, like, immediately. Like, maybe we'll restart the Browns.
Yeah. I always kind of laugh at that because, they're in the same division still, the Ravens. And I wonder if some of that feeds into the rivalry of the Browns, because the Browns have just been absolutely dominated historically by the Ravens over the last 20 years. And it's kind of funny because, they always see one of their teams win in Cleveland. Because, the Ravens are still basically their team. It's the same franchise, at least.
It is. I always say that the Ravens are the Browns.
Yeah.
But going to Notre Dame. So, when I think of Notre Dame, I think of the movie Rudy. That is one of my favorite movies ever. But it is an amazing historical college. How was your experience there, and how is that kind of translating into what you're doing now?
Absolutely phenomenal. I went to Notre Dame because I wanted an academically rigorous experience, but I had also, thanks in no small part to praying the rosary all the way through every day, had a real reversion, and that was my conversion experience. It made the faith my own. And where do those two meet? And back in those days, we had these things called optical discs, compact discs. So they came with these really chintzy, gimmicky ways to search for a college, and I put in, a decent sized school, not like 5 people, and I wanted primarily rigorous and Catholic, and it gave me 3. Boston College, the alma mater of another former podcast, Michael Saltis, who went to the University of Dayton, go Flyers. And then Notre Dame. I'm like, okay. And the only one that appealed to me was Notre Dame. And it was so great. I didn't really talk about my time at Notre Dame for years.
Really?
Yeah, I was dating another girl at Notre Dame. I was living here. And I think it was when St. Sebastian first started like a real young adult group, of which Veni Vidi Vici is the third successor of it.
Oh.
Like,
interesting.
yeah. And I heard people talk about like, oh man, college was the worst. Like it was so stressful. I hated it. And I was talking to my girlfriend at the time. I'm like, so wait, when you say you didn't like going to Notre Dame, she's like, yeah, Rocco, I hated it. I'm like, I didn't even cry. I thought everyone just loved college and enjoyed their time there, and it was just always this like great people. Like you get a good drink, you have fun, you tell stupid stories, and like this progression in the intellectual life. Like other people didn't have that experience, and it's like, oh.